Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. Before getting started, I want to make a small announcement. We in our academy, we are going to start anthropology batch from today, and timings of the class is 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And if you want to attend the class, you can attend free of cost for today and tomorrow. And to attend that class, you have to log in our app so that you will be getting an update before the class gets started, guys. Okay, only we are providing that attending of class only on online, not on offline, guys. Please do attend online class, and if you want to join, you can join and try to join by the end of this week or next week, guys, so that you'll not miss much more classes. Okay, and now let us see the important topics of the day. The first one is RBI panel keeps repo rate steady at 5.25%. This article is talking about repo rate. Especially we'll be studying about this repo rate in your economy under the chapter of inflation and as well as in banking. So here you have to see about repo rate, and even you have to see about this monetary policy committee, why this committee took this decision of not changing repo rate. This topic is important from economy point of view from GS paper 3. And next topic is central team to help tackle Chandipura virus flare-up. There is spread of Chandipura virus cases in Gujarat and as well as Rajasthan. Here, if there is any disease is in news, of course, it will be very important from UPSC prelims point of view. Here, you have to see about some facts related to Chandipura virus. And this is important from science and technology from GS paper 3. Our next topic is RS clears bill to increase number of Supreme Court judge. There is one more update related to the number of judges of Supreme Court. You have to add in your polity notes about this number of Supreme Court judges now, because it had been passed in Lok Sabha and as well as recently in Rajya Sabha. Of course, President will give assent. So here it is very important update related to judges. And next topic is Meghalaya launches mission to protect clouded leopards. So now Meghalaya government launched one action plan to protect clouded leopards. And now you have to see about some facts related to clouded leopards. And this topic is important from environment and ecology. And next topic is quantum shift. This article is saying about private sector spending in R&D. This article is saying that there is increased spending of private sector in R&D. That is a positive note. And this topic is important from governance point of view from GS paper 2. And next topic is the road ahead for Asiatic lion. So this article is talking about conservation of Asiatic lion. So again, one more species of animal in use, you have to know about it. This topic is important from environment and ecology. So all these are the topics now we are going to see in this class. Okay, now read out this title, guys. RBI panel keeps repo rate steady at 5.25%. What's the keyword? Repo rate. Economy is going on, right? I think yesterday only sir discussed about this monetary policy. Inflation is going on, right? Inflation completed? Yesterday completed. Now you have to answer me what is this repo rate. So before saying this okay, first what is repo rate? Okay. Whenever these commercial banks, when they get loan from RBI, this commercial banks has to pay interest rate. That interest rate is repo rate. You know about it. Now, why this repo rate is in use? Repo rate is used to control inflation. Okay, now tell me guys, is there any article or is there any current affairs related to inflation? Did we discuss anything regarding this? I think we discussed about retail inflation. Can you recall that? What is retail inflation? Inflation which is at consumer level. We have two types of inflation. First one is wholesale, next one is retail. Right? Recently we discussed about retail inflation. What did we discuss? Any idea? Anyone? Online guys, tell me. You can do it. Come on. What did we discuss about retail inflation? Increased or reduced? Yeah, increased inflation. Okay, now again let us see the story. Recently we discussed that there is increased inflation, especially retail inflation. What are the major reasons for this inflation? One is increased vegetable cost. And next one is we have transport inflation. There is increased charges for transport. And this time we have super El Nino. Because of this delayed and reduced rainfall. Because of all these things, what happened? There is increased prices. And one more thing we can add here is because of LPG crisis. There is increased commercial LPG gas price. And even under this Ujjwala Yojana, earlier government used to give how many cylinders? 9 cylinders per an year. But now it had been reduced to only 4. Because of this LPG crisis also, there is increased inflation. Right? Okay. What is the major reason behind this? One is geographical reason. One is geopolitics. What is this geopolitics? West Asian crisis. You know about Iran-US war? Yes? Closure of Strait of Hormuz. And recently, Iran started using these Houthis, which are Yemen based, who are Yemen based militant group, and they gave some warnings like we will close this which strait, Bab el Mandeb, and even they started attacking on the Saudi Arabian ships. And do you know yesterday update? Iran started attacking Dubai within 20 minutes, 7 attacks. Do you know this? Are you following this? Again, there are increased tensions in this West Asia. Further, that will lead to increased oil crisis. Clear? So, because of this geopolitics, now you know it is having impact on India. Right? And next one is what is geography? Because of super El Nino, we are getting less rainfall. And especially Indian agriculture is based on rainfall or rain-fed agriculture. So obviously our agriculture will be getting affected. Further, what happen if we are getting less rainfall, there will be less agriculture productivity and there will be less produce in the market. Then what happen? Demand supply mismatch will happen. When supply is reduced, obviously demand will be more, cost will be increased. You know about this microeconomic concept, law of supply and demand, elasticity. Can you recall that the first topic is this only, right? So again, you have to interconnect those. So this is the reason why there is inflation. Okay, so to control this inflation, okay, how can we measure this inflation? How can we measure this inflation? We have WPI, which talks about wholesale price index, which will measure inflation at wholesale level. You know what is wholesale, what is retail, right? And related to retail, we have which index? CPI, Consumer Price Index. And in this, how many types we have? CPI AN, CPI Industrial Worker, CPI combined. Can you recall that? So here, in this CPI also we have 4 types. Okay. Now, is inflation good or bad? Good to some extent, bad to much extent, right? Okay. So, if we want to control inflation, what are the measures taken? What are the measures taken by the government and RBI? We have one is fiscal policy. Yes. We have fiscal policy and next one is monetary policy. So, what is fiscal policy here? Who will have control under this fiscal policy? Government. Government will control this fiscal policy. Then what this government will do under this fiscal policy? Here it has 2 things can be done. First one is it can increase or reduce taxes. Government will impose how many types of taxes? Anyone? Direct tax and indirect tax. What is direct tax? Based on your income, based on your profits, you have to pay certain amount as tax to government. Example, income tax, corporate tax. Have you heard this income tax? We have to file income tax. Whenever you are earning more, you have to pay more tax to the government. What is corporate tax? I have a company and I am getting profits. On this profits, I have to pay tax to government. That is called as corporate tax. You will study about these topics in taxation chapter. Don't worry. Just remember we have direct tax and we have indirect tax. Direct tax is based on their income, their profit of an individual or an organization or a company. But indirect tax is nothing related to your income. Despite of your economic status, how much you earn, whether you're dependent or whether you're independent, whatever it may be, you have to pay tax to the government. That is called as indirect. The best example of indirect tax? Yes, GST. Yes, we have 5%, we have 12%, 18% earlier, but now we have only 2 slabs. Yes. So here the first step can be taken by the government is it may increase or decrease tax. And second one is it can increase or decrease public spending. These are the two things can be done by government. Okay, if government is increasing tax, what happens? People has to pay more tax. So that what about the money in the hands of the people? Less money. So we can control inflation. If government wants to increase the money supply in the people or among the society, what it will do? It will reduce the tax, right? In the same way, public spending also. Public spending is nothing but sometimes government will be releasing some tenders, some contracts, construction of some projects. Yes. So if government is increasing its spending, what happens? People will come and people try to work. And if people are working, for sure they'll get what? Wages. So here money supply will be increased through increasing of public spending. If government wants to decrease money supply in the market, then what happens? It wants to decrease the spending of public projects. Clear? So these are the instruments used by government under fiscal policy to control this inflation. Clear? Am I clear? And what about this monetary policy? Who is the responsible? RBI. The RBI is the responsible person for this monetary policy. What RBI will do here? Only one thing. We have only interest rates. RBI can increase or decrease interest rates to control inflation. In this interest rates, we have repo rate, reverse repo rate, standing marginal facility. Yes, we have different. So here we will talk about repo rate and reverse repo rate to understand this concept. RR and triple R. Reverse repo rate and repo rate. It is not triple R movie, okay? Don't think ma'am is saying about triple R movie. No, I am not telling about it. It is reverse repo rate. So what is repo rate? We have RBI. And this is very important. In 2024 prelims, there were 2 questions directly came from this topic of inflation. If you know clearly, it is very useful because every month you'll get this kind of articles, WPI, CPI news only. And recently we have update related to this CPI and WPI. So you have to know about it. Okay, and in 2026 they didn't give any question about updation of base year. In 2027 for sure they may give. So this inflation topic is very important. In 2025 also there is no question on inflation. 2026 also no question. That means again in 2027 you can expect. You have to keep star mark for this chapter, guys. And whoever you are writing this 2027 exam, try to keep star mark and try to revise more about this inflation topic. And if and even in 2024 mains also there was a direct question in GS paper 1. The first question is this one only. What are the major causes of inflation in our country? Just 10 marker question. Just they asked about inflation in mains. The very first question 2024 GS paper 3 paper. Okay. So like that, try to inculcate. Whenever you're reading anything, you have to cover both prelims and as well as mains point of view. Just don't focus on only reading prelims, because nowadays the questions are like analytical questions. Question format had been changed and they are not asking facts directly, right? So if you want to do such kind of questions, for sure you need analytical knowledge. Okay, try to apply the concepts. And economy, there is a very high tendency of forgetting. If you don't want to forget, you have to apply with the real scenarios. Take some examples, keep you as example and think from your perspective. Like I have this, whether it is beneficial me to spend on bonds or stocks. Like that, try to understand from your level, from your family level. Then you can remember it very good. So in that way, you can remember the concepts of economy. Don't feel that it is very hard. It is simple actually. Because we'll see and we'll apply that concepts every day in our life. But polity, did you go to court? Did you use that laws? That will be different and difficult to remember and apply. But economy is very simple. But most of the students feel that, Amma, economy, I can't, it is the toughest subject. Don't get into that mindset. If you are in that mindset, no one can do anything. Even if I bring like excellent sir also, you'll be thinking, he's not telling good. Okay, so change your mindset. If you're feeling something difficult, you have to feel that, okay, let us try to simplify it. That kind of positive attitude you need to develop. Then only you can do anything in your life. If you see any problem and if you're stopping there means, you'll be there only. Others will be moving ahead. Okay, if you want to win in the race, obviously you have to change your mindset and you have to create your own path to reach your goal. That is the thing that you have to do. Okay. Yes, we have RBI, which is Central Bank of India. This will give loans to commercial banks, and loans will be given on interest like 2%, 3%, 4%. Have you heard this? House loan 10% interest rate, gold loans. So here this banks will pay interest on this loan. This interest is called as repo rate. If reverse happen, if RBI wants money, if RBI gets loan from the banks, obviously the RBI has to pay interest. Yes, that interest is called as reverse repo rate. Which is more, which is less? Repo rate is more always than reverse repo rate. Actually, this is the one statement given in UPSC PYQ. Okay, so you have to remember the concepts in that way. So now here this article is saying that reverse repo rate is, repo rate is not changed now. If you see the title, it is saying that RBI panel, which is that RBI panel that is called as Monetary Policy Committee. So now Monetary Policy Committee keeps repo rate steady. That means they didn't change any repo rate and they are continuing with the same repo rate of 5.25%. That is this article. Clear? So if you understand this basic concept, it is more than enough. Okay, now let us see next article. See this title guys, Central Team to help tackle Chandipura virus flare up. The keyword is Chandipura virus. Recently we discussed about dengue virus. We discussed about Ebola virus. Next, any other virus did we discussed? Leptospirosis cases, brain eating amoeba in Kerala. Next, canine distemper virus in lions. And now one more virus, keep heading, Chandipura virus. Chandipura. Chandipura is a place where they identified this virus for the first time. So the name of this virus is Chandipura virus. Very important. How you can get a question? Consider the following statements regarding Chandipura virus. Under that, UPSC can give you 2 to 3 statements and it may ask you to identify correct or incorrect. That is the first type. And second type is match the following based question. We have Chandipura virus now. We have Ebola virus. We have dengue virus. Like that, it will give you 4 to 5 and it may ask you to match the following. That is a trend which started from 2026 onwards. In 2025, in 2027 paper, you can expect 4 to 5 questions based on that match the following only. And which one is, there is also a possibility of getting pair based questions. You know about this pair based questions, right? They'll give you one virus and some colon and it will give some related thing and it may ask you to identify which of the above are correct. And next new type of question is box format question. Every year you will be getting good number of this box format question. They'll give 3 parts. Virus name, caused by vector, Chandipura virus, so and so, like that. They'll give you 3 columns and it may ask you to identify which is correct. Here you have to see all these 3. If all these 3 are matching, then only that pair is correct. Okay. So this kind of questions you can see in your UPSC prelims. If you once practice your PYQs, then you can understand exactly what are the formats in which the question can be asked. So that while you are preparing that topic, you will be getting idea like how you have to prepare. Which point is important, which point you can neglect. You have to see it. Okay, now let us see some facts here. Now in Gujarat and Rajasthan, there is increased number of Chandipura virus, and even around 3 people died in Gujarat. So because of this, it became a public emergency now in Gujarat. For example, if you are posted in Gujarat as a district collector, and if there are increasing cases of this Chandipura virus, what are the steps you can take? or what measures you will take. Like that, you may get a case study also in your ethics. In ethics, mostly you will get 6 case studies, and out of the 6 case studies, mostly they'll give 4 case studies from current affairs, minimum 4 case studies from current affairs. So if you are getting this kind of emergent situations, this time you are expecting that there may be a question based on student protest. You know, because of the student protest, lots of things happened because of Chalo Sansad, pellet guns, students filed petitions, everything. So they may give question on this protest. They may give question about this kind of disease, because lots of disease in news now, like Ebola virus, now Chandipura virus. And recently we discussed about contamination of water, which is also there highly in news. Delhi contamination, Madhya Pradesh contamination. Like that, they will pick up some and they will try to give. During this Operation Sindhu time, they gave case study about this terrorism, terror outfits. Okay, like that, they'll take the situation current affairs and they will try to make or create a situation in the similar way, and they will ask you to answer that kind of case studies. If you have good thorough knowledge of current affairs, you can try to do that. Are you understanding? Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Chandipura virus. Please make a note. It belongs to Rhabdoviridae family. Very important. It belongs to Rhabdoviridae family. Actually, do you know this rabies? Rabies is caused by dog bite. That is also virus only, right? Do you know this rabies? What happens in this rabies? Do we have vaccine to this rabies? No vaccine. So what happens here? That person will start behaving like a dog. Yes, very good. So here, same, this rabies virus and this Chandipura virus belongs to same family, that is Rhabdoviridae family. And for the first time, it was identified in the year 1965 in Chandipura village in Maharashtra. So because of this virus got this name Chandipura, the place where it identified. For example, even Ebola virus also, Ebola in that area they gave this name Ebola. Okay, in the same way, Chandipura virus also. And this virus is known to cause acute encephalitis syndrome. That means it will affect directly our nervous system and brain. How many types of nerves are there in our human body? Ma'am, please don't ask this question. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So we have central nervous system, we have peripheral nervous system. Do you know this? No idea. Very good. Brain and spinal cord comes under central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system means nerves. Nerves comes under peripheral nervous system. Very good. Basic knowledge of biology, guys. Okay. So here this virus will be affecting directly the brain. That means central nervous system will be getting affected. So brain is covered by different layers. Those are called as meninges. Meninges will be getting inflamed. So I think you might have heard this మెదడు వాపు వచ్చింది, మెదడు వాపు అని అంటారు. Do you know this? So that is nothing but encephalitis. So once this Chandipura virus enters into our body, then what happens? It will be affecting the brains. Brain layers will be getting inflamed. And next important point you have to remember is normally the spread of this Chandipura virus happens during rainy season. That means in the monsoon season, every year we will be getting this disease, will be there in news. And one more important point here is it is caused by the bite of sandflies. Sandflies, not mosquito. Do you know the sandflies? Sandflies, no idea. Sandfly. What is that? Telugu, what they'll call it as? In Telugu. It will be like light cream in color. If it bite, if it tick means you will be getting a lot of pain. Normally seen in outdoors, especially in villages, especially in this beaches area, we'll get this. Beach only know will have more sand. No idea. Where will we have sand? Normally at this river coast or else in this beaches we have this. Especially we can see the sand fly in this beach area normally. Uskaiga. Whatever the name you have. Just you're translating that from English to Telugu only. There will be some local names for that. No, I'm asking that local name. Okay, just type sandfly in Google and just see that image, guys. Then you'll get one clarity and get your own name and give your own name for that and try to remember that. Iska iga. Okay. So here Because of that bite of that sandfly, this disease will be getting transmitted. And once human get this disease, it can be easily transmitted from silence please. If once human got infected with that disease, it can be easily transmitted from one person to another person like COVID-19 through either sneezing or coughing, or whenever you are coming up with physical contact with that person, this virus can be easily transmitted. Okay, so this is about that topic. And one important point you have to remember is there is no vaccine for this. Please make a note, there is no vaccine for this Chandipura virus, no vaccine. From COVID-19 onwards, if there is any disease in news, they are asking about vaccine. So there is no vaccine for this Chandipura virus. And see this next article guys, RS clears bill to increase number of Supreme Court judges. Finally, in Lok Sabha it passed, Rajya Sabha it had been passed. For sure, President will give assent. So in your polity chapter, in your handouts, pick out the Supreme Court and try to make a note and try to change there the number of judges of Supreme Court. For sure, you'll get a question in 2027. Keeps double star mark. Keep 2 to 3 star marks for this topic. You'll get for sure 100% question in your 2026, 2027. In 2026 mains also they may ask this. I'll show you the paper on 22nd August. I'll show the paper and I'll let you know which questions they ask so that you will be getting some clarity. At least if you are following current affairs from last 3 to 4 months, you can identify which topic is important, which topic is not important, how the question came. I'll show you the papers. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, see this guys, this article is talking about Supreme Court judges. So how UPSC can ask a question? Consider the following statements. Under that it can ask about eligibility criteria, it can ask about tenure or else appointment process, it can ask about collegium system, it can ask about NJAC, it can ask about ad hoc or acting judges. All these things can be asked. Okay, silence please. All this can be asked, so you have to be well prepared about this. Okay, and next one here is actually President came up with ordinance, right? So this time ordinance will be also important. Please make a note of ordinance and check and see clearly and revise about ordinance. Ordinance and Supreme Court will be very important themes for 2027 prelims. Don't miss this, don't ignore this case. Very important. And now let us see the next one. Look at the title. They are very cute, no? Meghalaya launches mission to protect clouded leopards. The keyword is clouded leopards. And which state government is launching this plan? Meghalaya. Okay, now you have to remember some facts. So how question can be asked? Consider the following statements regarding clouded leopard. Why I am asking you to know about this clouded leopard? What is the reason? If you have seen 2025 UPSC prelims paper, there was a question on peacock tarantula. Consider the following statements regarding peacock tarantula. It is a spider species. They gave 3 statements about it and they asked you to identify correct statements. Why that peacock tarantula was there in paper? What is the reason is AP government started one program to protect peacock tarantula. Because of that they gave question. And now Meghalaya government is launching a mission. Don't you think UPSC can give you question about clouded leopard next time? For sure it may give. There is 95% chances of getting question in your prelims 2027 about this clouded leopard. Okay, so you have to keep star mark for this. In this way, if you know how the questions are coming and which topics UPSC is picking up, then obviously you will prepare in a right way. You will not go here and there. You will be in a right path. That is the reason why you need to analyze PYQs, why that is there in the paper, what exactly UPSC is asking, what it is expecting from you. Why UPSC is giving more questions on environment? Because it is a common exam for IFOS also, right? That is a major reason you should not ignore. And whenever you are preparing for prelims, you have to pick the subjects based on the priority. Okay, don't go randomly here and there. So first you have to complete certain subjects and later on you have to give priority based on the marks and based on the importance. That how can you know? Based on seeing the PYQs, like every year how many questions are coming and that too in which topic, And if in that topic, what are the traps used by UPSC, try to analyze them clearly. If you do that, then only you can clear UPSC. If you are reading randomly what are the book it is available, and if you are collecting every time new notes, new book, means you will becoming like a book collector. Yes, if you are becoming a book collector, is that any use? If you are collecting books and keeping your shelf and you are making your space as a library, is that important for exam? It is no matter like which book you read, how much knowledge you have, how you are presenting in your examination is very important. No, try to bring that skill rather than becoming a book collector. Okay, try to organize everything simple and try to revise the things more and more and try to prepare according to examination. Many people will go to study hall and they'll see nearby person will be reading new book and he'll be asking this is excellent book and you'll go and you'll buy and you'll keep that. And like that, for economy you'll be having 10 books, for history you'll be having 20 books, for polity 5 to 6 books. If you go on collecting books and if you go on spending money on these books, is there any use case? Always you have to read one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books one time. It won't fetch you anything. Remember this case. Don't become a book collector. There are many students, they'll go on rushing behind the books. Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, now let us see here some facts. Please make a note. Meghalaya state animal is clouded leopard. Write down. Meghalaya state animal is clouded leopard. So now Meghalaya government wants to protect its state animal. Because of this, it launched a mission. Please make a note of that mission. That is Meghalaya Clouded Leopard Action Plan. Meghalaya Clouded Leopard Action Plan. If UPSC wants to give a question on it, how it can give? What are the major features of this Meghalaya Clouded Leopard Action Plan? And what is the ecological role played by this clouded leopard? What is the significance of this plan? Or what are the challenges? Like that, UPSC can give you a mains-based question in environment and ecology. You have to be careful. Okay, now let us see about this topic. So Meghalaya government launched this Clouded Leopard Action Plan, and it is a comprehensive multi-state strategic framework. In this, what they are doing, they are first of all focusing on securing of habitats. Habitat is nothing but the place where we can see this clouded leopard, right? So they are going to identify their habitats first and they are going to secure their habitats and they will restore the ecological corridors and even they will have a proper record on the population of this clouded leopards. So like that, they are going to take step-by-step action and they want to protect this clouded leopards. Okay, so what are the features? The first one is they are going to identify 14 priority landscape areas in northeastern part, like in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, in Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and even some parts of West Bengal and Bihar, we can see this animal. So in that area, they are going to identify the critical habitats, like where exactly they are living. And next one is they are going for scientific monitoring. In the scientific monitoring, they will use technology and they will try to establish reliable population database. So how they can use cameras? Yes, camera traps they can use and they can collect environmental DNA. Do you know this environmental DNA? Have you heard about it? eDNA. So what we have to do to collect DNA? We have to collect hair sample or saliva or blood or any body parts, tissues. From this we can identify this DNA or isolate the DNA. But without taking that, how can we get the DNA? In environment, the place where it is living. For example, if there is any animal which is there here, for example, it is urinating here or it is doing shit here and it is moving here and there. For example, have you ever seen if there is any tick or if there is anything which is passing on the body, what they'll do? Animals, they'll go and they'll rub to the trees, right? So whenever they are rubbing and contacting, the cells will be attached to that area. And even if animal is died, means what happened? For some years, we can get some DNA samples from that place where this dead body of that animal was. That is called as environmental DNA. Rather than collecting directly from that animal, we will collect that DNA samples from the environment where it is living. That is called as eDNA. Now they are going to collect this eDNA samples of this animal, and they are going to create a clear-cut population database. Are you understanding here? Environment DNA means nothing but the DNA which is present in the environment. Rather than collecting directly from the body, we are taking from the environment, the place where it lived. Okay, so that is the thing. And even in anthropology also, you'll come across this archaeology part. In that, we will also collect some environment DNA, and we know that these people, they were lived long ago. In the stages of evolution of human, we have Homo erectus, Neanderthals, modern man, early man, like that. So how we know that they were lived at this time? Because they collected some environment DNA, the place where they got this what remains of the body, and they analyzed the DNA, and they started doing this radioactive dating techniques, and finally they find the age of that fossil. So like that, even today also we can get environment DNA of our early humans. In the same way, we are also going to collect this eDNA of this animal, and we can create a population database. And the next one here is, we are going to focus on habitat and corridor connectivity. Corridor, what is a corridor? Even in our homes also we have corridors, we have balconies. What are they? Normally, whenever we see the animal group, they will not go in a random way. They'll go in a particular path. Yes or no? Normally, if you see ants, ants are very disciplined, not like humans, no? Even in the bus stops or wherever we go, they'll ask us to follow queue. Will we follow? Even in temples. But see ants, they'll go one by one, they'll follow a queue. If you are made in that kind of discipline, always human will reach lots of heights. But we don't follow, no? Yes or no? So here, corridor is nothing but the ways or the routes they are created by the animals through which they will pass. Normally, in some forest, dense forest, no humans are there. Human habitats are not there. There is no movement of humans. But even though we can see small routes, have you identified when we see some reels related to the dense forest? No idea. If animal like an elephant is passing, a group of elephants, obviously because of that weight, what happened? It can create a route. Those are called as natural corridors, which are created by animals. In that corridors only they will move. So normally for this leopards also, they have their own corridors. So we are going to protect those corridors, and as well as we are going to protect the habitats. And next one is, we are going for community centric conservation. That is nothing but whenever we are including the people, local people in the conservation, then only we can protect that area. Recently we discussed about one community and one case study. What is that? Karnataka, which is that community? Soligas in conservation of Western Ghats. In the same way, now we are going to take the community who are living nearby this corridors and habitats of this leopard, and we are going to aware them. We are going to increase awareness about conservation. And next one here is, this animal is not present only in India. It can be seen in Nepal, it can be seen in Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. That means transborder collaboration is also very much required. That is nothing but international collaboration. We will also talk with other countries' governments, and we will join the hands to protect that animal. So these are the some points which are given in this action plan. Okay, now let us see about some facts related to clouded leopard. You may get a question on it. Leopards belong to family called as Panthera. You know this? Okay, you know about it. Okay, next one here, very important point here is, it is seen in Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and even in Southeast Asian countries like Sumatra, Borneo, and southern part of China also we can see this animal. Normally, UPSC has a tendency to make a wrong statement on this. Like clouded leopard is seen only in India. So like that, it can change the statement. So you have to be careful. Whenever you are seeing that kind of statement, you have to use your common sense. Why it is seen only in India? If that is seen in the central part, means obviously it is in India, but it is there at the border level, right? It is normally seen at the foothills of Himalayas. Is Himalayas spread only in India? No. So like that, you have to use your knowledge. Common sense you have to apply. Don't believe that everything will be available in the books. No single book tells about everything. And you will be not having time to refer 100 books for environment. Yes or no? So there you have to use your common sense. For that you need to have a good map knowledge. Clear? And next one is, if you see the habitat, they are commonly seen in tropical rainforest. They are seen in tropical rainforest, and even they are seen in woodlands, they are seen in mangrove swamp areas, and they are majorly seen in the foothills of Himalayas. In these regions, we can see this clouded leopard. And next, if you see the IUCN Red List status, it is listed under vulnerable, very important, and it is getting protection under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. So these are the points that you have to remember. Okay. And now let us see the next article. Read out the title. Quantum shift. Can you see? Quantum shift. Private R&D spends should be used to bolster manufacturing. What does it mean? Think and tell me. Honest guys, tell me, what does it mean? Come on, come on, come on. Do it fast. Private R&D spends should be used to bolster manufacturing. This article is talking about R&D. What is the full form of R&D? Yes, research and development. Is it important or not? Why is it important? If you are focusing on research, what will get? We will get more inventions, more discoveries. We can upgrade our technology. If we are upgrading our technology, we can make the people life very easy. We can export that to other countries. We can get some revenue. Yes or no? That means research and development is very important for any society. With research and development only, there will be advancements in the society. Yes or no? Will you believe it or not? Yes. So now, if we want to do research and development, what we need? We need funds. Without funds, can we do that? For sure, no. From where we are getting funds for R&D in India? We have two ways. One is government will be spending, and next one is private sector. If we compare with government and private, who will spend more? Normally, government will be spending more in research and development in our country. But this report is saying that from 2023 to 2024 onwards, there is increased contribution of private sector in R&D. Actually, this article is saying that there is a shift, quantum shift. There is a shift in R&D funds. Earlier, we used to have government funds. And already, you know, government will not have proper budget only. If government is not having budget, can it spend more amount of money in R&D? For sure, no. If we are not spending money, can we enhance development? Can we get good advanced technology like other countries, like developed countries, European countries, etc.? So if you're not having that kind of technology or developments, India will become big. India will be like remaining as just an importing country. We used to import lot of advanced technology from other countries. If you're not spending even now, also means what happened? India should be remain as an importing country, right? So if we are depending on other countries, what will be the problem? We don't know how the relation will be with that country. Today's friends, we don't know whether we'll have the same relation tomorrow or not. If suppose apply with the normal life, we have a couple. We don't know will they live lifelong like that also, or else will they have the breakup in the relationship? Will they have divorce? Will they maintain some extramarital affairs? Do we know all those things? No. If you're depending on any other country for our imports, we don't know in future what happens. You know how this Trump mindset will be. What he'll do, what he'll talk, we don't know. We can't expect, right? And if you're depending on other countries, we have to send more and more money. Whatever they demand, we have to give. Because of this, what happened? It will be economical cost. And we don't know whether they will give new technology or the old technology of their country. Do we know? For sure, no. So because of this, R&D is very important for ambitious countries like India. Because India wants to become developed country by 2047. And India has an ambition of third largest economy in the world, 5 trillion economy. So if you want to achieve all these targets, for sure we have to invest in R&D. R&D will give good ROI. What is ROI? ROI, return on investment. Always we have to focus on ROI. Remember guys, in your future also, if you're investing somewhere something, what will be the ROI? You have to focus on that and try to do investments cleverly and wisely. Okay, so here this article is saying that there is increased private investment in R&D. Now tell me guys, is that a good sign or a bad sign? Obviously it is a good sign. So what are the advantages we get because of increased investment in private sector of this R&D? What is the advantages that we have? For sure we can increase technology. Now with that technology we can produce in our country, so that the dependency on other countries will be reduced. We can save our foreign currency and we can export to other countries, and in return we can get foreign currency into our country. And if you are getting developed status, obviously India can showcase its leverage in the world, right? So we have multiple advantages of increasing of spending in R&D. Okay, now let us see this article clearly. They gave some data, but no need of remembering that data. Just only one point you need to write here. Please make a note. In 2023 to 2024, private sector contribution for R&D is 51.8%. From 2023 to 2024 onwards, there is increased spending of private sector, and it is contributing around 51.8% now. And now this industry is employing more and more core researchers also than compared to that of government institutions. Now private sector is surpassing government. Okay, that is the thing that you have to remember. And next important point here is who are investing in R&D, which sectors. First one is transport companies are investing more in R&D. Why transport companies? Now we want to do modifications in engines. If we want to accommodate with E20 and E85, E20 what is this? Ethanol blended petrol 20%, 85% of ethanol blended petrol is called as E85. And even we are focusing on reducing of vehicular emissions. We have to do R&D only such that we can enhance, like we are going to reduce emissions. And even we are shifting towards electric vehicles. From diesel or petrol to electric vehicles, we have to change our technology, right? And even we are talking about increasing of safety in transport mechanisms. Do you know about recent Air India related news? Anyone? Air India related? No idea. Suddenly Air India flight has been come down to 300 meters altitude, like that. So that what happened? Many injuries happened. Earlier in last year there was Air India accident, and now again this kind of incident. So because of this, obviously what we need to do, we need to improve safety in this kind of transport related things. So now transport companies are spending more in this R&D actually. And this one is even pharmaceuticals, because we want to have new kind of medicines because of new emerging of diseases, and we need to have good vaccines. India is focusing on improving of vaccines a lot. We have recently malaria vaccine, we have dengue vaccine, but it is made up of Japan. But in the same lines, India is also trying to produce vaccines to prevent diseases, right? So for that we need to have more R&D related funds. And this one is in biotechnology, information technology. All these are spending a lot in R&D. And now what is significance? I already said about significance, just write that points, that's it. And there is one important challenge given in this article. So even though there is increased private sector spending in R&D, totally India is spending 0.84% of GDP on R&D. If you see other countries, China is spending 2.5%, US is spending 3.4%, and that small South Korea country is spending around 5%. So what is the contribution of India? It is very less. Because of this, whenever we see many companies of our mobiles, things will come from South Korea because they spend more in R&D and they are excelling in this developed technology. Now India has to learn a lot from that small country, guys. That is the thing. And you have to remember this data and you can use while you are writing any answers. That is very important. So what is the way forward? This article is saying that we should not be happy like increasing of private sector spending in R&D. We have to increase our contribution more. And apart from that, how we are spending is very important. Which area we are spending and what is the outcome of that spending. Okay, so we need to increase the efficiency of the spending. That is the thing which mainly said in this article. That's it. And see this next article, guys. Read out the title. The road ahead for the Asiatic lions. This article is talking about Asiatic lion. Okay, where we can see this Asiatic lion? Gir National Park. In which state? Gujarat. Why we discussed recently about this Asiatic lion? Canine distemper virus. Okay, apart from that, what exactly the reason why we discussed about Asiatic lion? We are asking about relocation of lions from Gir National Park to other place. So actually this article is saying that the government of India launched a project called as Project Lion. And in that project, we started conserving this Asiatic lions. Earlier, we used to have just 100 to 150 lions. Now the population is 1,000 lions, more than 1,000 lions. So this is one of the success of this Project Lion. So earlier, whenever this 100 to 150 lions are there, they are there in the same Gir National Park. But now this number increases to 1,000. And now they are there in the same national park. Is that space enough? For example, if we have a home which is of capacity which can bear like 6 members, if you have any function, if 100 members are coming, how it will be? Like one person will be touching another person, will get irritation. Yes. So here the same thing which is happening there. There is lack of space that to be maintained between animal to animal. If you are not maintaining the proper distance, what happened? If any animal is sick, that can be easily transmitted, right? So normally these lions will be affected by canine distemper virus. Because of this, every year at least 10 to 15 lions will die. Now there is increased number, there is reduced space, and this virus has the capability of spreading easily. If that spread to lions, then what happened? If every lion got this infection, let us let us imagine if every lion got this infection, if every lion died, then what happened? Entire that lion species will become extinct in our country. Is that good sign? Can we maintain proper ecosystem there? Ecosystem will be getting disturbed, food chain will be getting disturbed, food web will be getting disturbed, right? Top carnivores will be dying. So that what happen if lions are not there? Then which animal will be increasing? Which animal number will be increased? Herbivores animals number will be increased. If herbivores are increasing, then what happened? What about grass? What about the greenery? There will be no greenery. If there is no greenery, what happened? That forest will become a grassland or a desert, right? So every animal will be having its own role, and we have to maintain the number of that animal. Then only we can maintain the healthy ecosystem. If lions are not there, herbivores will be increased. If herbivores are increased, greenery will be not there. If there is no greenery, forest will be converted into a desert. It will be a grave threat, right? And if plants are reducing means there will be no carbon sequesters. There will be increased carbon dioxide emissions. Again, global warming, climate change. In yesterday's class only we discussed about global warming is increasing at a rapid pace. Everything is interconnected. You have to connect the dots. Okay. How will you write a multidimensional answer is based on how imaginary capacity you have and how you are connecting the dots. Based on that, your answer will be clear. Just I gave one just example. So now you have to think and you have to expand that. Okay. So here this article is saying that we have to relocate that lion from that place to another place, or else we have a threat. And here this article is saying that many a times environmental activists, they are proposing this idea to relocate that lion from that place to another place, but they are not taking steps. Why? Because of lack of proper ideology. So here this article is saying that if we want to go for taking of conservation, we need to have a strong political will. If government is strong about it, then obviously we can do that. If government is taking light, obviously we cannot complete that. That is the first thing which mainly said. And as well as we need a capable administration, especially forest department should be strong. If there is no proper forest department, if there is corruption, obviously can we change anything? We can't change anything. And next one is we need sustainable funding. If we want to relocate them, we need to have a proper veterinarian doctors, and we need to have the cameras, and we have to see how they are moving, whether they are adapting in new environment or not. For all those things, we need good funding, and even we need to have the local community support. Local community know about the animal which is living there. But if you're introducing a new animal, how they have to handle that situation? For sure, local community support should be there. Will you be okay if I ask that I will bring the tiger and I will make to sit this tiger along with you? Tiger will be also listening to classes. Tiger will be writing exam. Will you accept it? No, right? In the same way, if you want to introduce any animal, so that local community gives support. They have to accept it, right? And next, this article is saying that what kind of steps we can take here is, even if you're not going for relocation of this lions immediately, we have to take some steps like protecting of their habitats. We have to monitor their corridors, how they are moving, and we have to address the disease risk like canine distemper virus, and we have to finally secure the second home for this lions. This is the idea of this article. Okay, you may get a question on this Asiatic lions, or else you may get a question by giving comparison between Asiatic lions and African lions. We have two African lions and we have Asian lions. So just see, by seeing the image only you can identify lots of differences between Asiatic lion and African lion. So after this class, just open Google and just browse this Asian lion and African lion. Just see image. You can see lots of change. Okay. Yeah. Now let us see the questions, guys. First one is about Chandipura virus. Can you see? There are 4 statements. First one is Chandipura virus belongs to Rhabdoviridae family. Next one is it is primarily transmitted through the bite of sandflies. The disease mainly affects children and can cause acute encephalitis. There is a commercially available vaccine for Chandipura virus. What is the answer? 1, 2, 3. There is no vaccine. See this next question and you have to answer this. Repo rate. With reference to the repo rate, consider the following statements. Repo rate is the rate at which Reserve Bank of India lends money to commercial banks against government securities. Second one, an increase in repo rate generally reduces liquidity in the economy. Repo rate is decided by Monetary Policy Committee, MPC. Let's see. What happens when repo rate is increased? Third statement is right or wrong? What about second? Second is right. What about one? One is right or wrong? Right, it is right. They have to give government securities. No, why they'll give? Huh? Against means normally how will you get loans? You have to give some collateral. On that only they will give. No, against means they will take government securities and on that they will give loan. Karma. Okay. One is also right. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, do PYQs of economy case. If you are like this, in this economy, the statements will be like this only. That's all, guys. By this, I'm concluding. Thank you so much. And don't forget about this anthropology optional. And the timings of the class is 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. guys. Okay, don't miss that. And you can attend online class on free. It is not at all a demo class. I'll be starting my actual class from today itself. Thank you so much, guys.